Hi everyone, Kelly here, Animal Instinct here on Flosstube. Thanks for stopping by for Stitchy update number 8, I think. Today's March the 1st, 2020, and I've got a fair bit to go through today. It's been 3 weeks since my last video, so if you're coming back, thanks for stopping by again. I've been a bit remiss this week, 3 weeks. I haven't managed to go back and read and comment on my last video, so I promise I will do that. If you're new, I hope you enjoy my whips and what I'm working on. So I'm back at uni now, so I work full time and then I study as well. So my stitchy time is reduced, which is why I'm trying to reduce the frequency of my videos. I really enjoy it, so I kind of think it's a good part of like my self-care, I guess, making time for me to do something that I enjoy. But yeah, unfortunately, stitchy time is slightly reduced. Today I'm going to go through, so I've got my stats for February, my stitchy stats for Feb, and then I've got my whips, I've got a couple of new starts, no finishes, and I do have some haul today. So I keep track of my stitchy stats, I guess, in just a little diary. It's been kind of fun having something to, I don't know, I write down at the end of the day what I've worked on and then sort of have a look when the month finishes, sort of how much progress I made. I probably could spend the time I spend on this actually stitching and get more done, but that's okay. So in Feb, I stitched for 29 days out of 29. So I also managed to do that in January. So I haven't missed a day this year. So that's kind of fun. Some days I will admit I might have put 10 stitches in at lunchtime at work, but I've put a stitch in every single day. One night, I can't remember what I was doing, but whatever I was doing, it'd been a really busy day, and I think it got to 11:45 at night, and I was like, oh, I haven't put any stitches in today, so I quickly remedied that. I stitched on 11 projects this month, including a couple of new starts. I finished the Woodland Creatures Lakeside Needlecraft monthly sale installment. That's a mouthful. The Badger, I showed that last time. I haven't got the new creature out, but it'll be coming out today or tomorrow, so that's exciting. And I also finished the January installment of the Modern Folk Embroidery 2020 sale, so I'll show you that. I had 3 page finishes on my full coverage B project. Now, that's not to say I started and finished 3 whole pages. These are all already, you know, halfway or more completed, and one of them is just kind of a half page, but still I can tick off 3 more pages on that project. And I also finished 2 pages on my long dog sampler of Pilgrim. No FFOs or actual finishes, but that's okay. Okay, sorry, coffee break. So let's get into whips. Still haven't managed to get a nice board to display them on, so I've got a folder today. Right, first of all is my temperature tree by the Stitching Mummy. I'll put a photo in here of what it will look like, or the sort of mock-up, the base mock-up. Everyone's will be different because it's based on the maximum temperature of where you live. I think I've still got about a week of February to fill in, but that's okay. I'll possibly get that done tonight, I think. Won't take too long. So the blues are cold, then it goes through the greens, and then the yellows, oranges, and reds. Now that's January and February, the hottest months of the year, and it's been such a mild summer. Well, second half of summer anyway. Like I would have expected more yellows and oranges and more reds in there. It's very weird weather. Anyway, so I'm doing it on a 32 count Belfast linen. It's kind of a brownie colour. It was a gift at the Mittagong retreat, and I'm doing them in DMC. Right. I'm not quite as organised as I normally am, so we'll see how this goes. Right, next is The Time Traveller by Joan Elliott. There's going to be a little bit of crinkles today because like I said, not quite as organised as normal. This one. Darcy from Plan Knit Stitch on Instagram contacted me and asked if I'd like to do a sal and if there was a hashtag, because she's also going to stitch this one. And so she came up with a hashtag, JE Time Traveller Sal, I think. I'll make sure it's here. So if you're stitching this, or if you're thinking about stitching this, come and join us, please. That would be great. I'm stitching mine on 32 count Belfast linen, in Gothic by Picture This Plus. I did a little bit more. I haven't done a whole lot more this month. Sort of crumpled too. But, oops. Oh man. It's gonna be one of those days. Look how the reds just like pop on that fabric. It's so cool. So when I did stitch it, the last session I did, I was tired and I made some mistakes. I did a whole lot of frogging, and then I realized the last session I stitched, I also made mistakes. So I had to frog some of that too. So I've learnt my lesson. I was just going, so I've got a paper copy of the pattern. I was just like eyeballing the paper copy, and I didn't want to mark it off in case I made a mistake, but I hadn't got round to making a working copy, and I think that's my problem. So I've gone out and made myself a working copy, and I hope that next time I stitch on it, there won't be quite so many errors, because that was very frustrating. Next up is The Pilgrim by Long Dog Sampler. I pulled this out for February stitching. I mentioned this last time. I picked, I wanted to do a piece to celebrate my 5-year freedom from ovarian cancer. And so I picked this Pilgrim because I really like it. And then I chose to do it in this tealy green from Silks For You, because teal is the ovarian cancer awareness colour. And then I wanted to stitch on it in February because it had been sitting in my stash for a while, because February is awareness month. I did intend to do a stitch with me, but I just didn't have time, unfortunately. But really, really briefly, the symptoms of ovarian cancer are really vague and non-specific and can easily be explained away by other things. So for example, I had some weight gain and like lethargy, but I also was really stressed at work. I was working long hours and I'd stopped exercising and like wasn't eating as well as I should have been, all down to stress. And so I could explain all those symptoms based on that. And then also like some vague bloating, which I thought might have been like just a digestive problem. So first of all, the symptoms are vague and non-specific to the disease. And then also there's not really any good screening tests for ovarian cancer. So unfortunately, for the vast majority of cases, when they're discovered, it's too late. They've already metastasized, so they've already spread elsewhere throughout the body. and patients tend to have radical surgery and really, really intensive treatments. And even with all of that, the prognosis is really, really poor. I am a really unique case. I'm so fortunate. Mine did get picked up in time, only because it developed in a cyst on my ovary, which grew quite large, and that's eventually what prompted me to seek medical attention, because I had some pain, abdominal pain. Because it was large, they decided to take it out, because sometimes they'll just watch ovarian cysts, because they will form cysts normally. This one was a bit large, so they took it out, and that's where they found the cancer. I then did have a second surgery by a gynecological oncologist, whole new medical field to me. Never heard of that before. And there was a staging surgery to see if it had spread and where it had spread. So he removed the ovary, he removed my appendix, because there is a link. They're both glandular organs. And he just took 1 million biopsies, and amazingly, absolutely no spread. It was very, very unusual. It's so unusual that he was at a bit of a loss as to what I should do treatment-wise. So I know I was discussed at some roundtable discussions with some of the top oncologists here in Adelaide. And I actually decided I didn't need to have any other treatment. Surgery was considered curative. And I did have to have a lot of follow-up. So I was having ultrasounds and physical examinations and MRIs and CT scans for the next 4 years. And it's all been normal. So last year, I think it was, or the year before, can't remember now, he actually signed me off, so he doesn't want to see me again. I do have a lifetime referral. If I need to go back to him, I can just ring him up, which is amazing. But yeah, that's pretty much just what I wanted to say in what I was going to go through in my Stitch With Me. There is a blood test, so it was an adenocarcinoma, and there is a blood test where markers, I guess in some cancers, you can detect it using this test, so carcinoma markers. Mine were normal the whole way through, even when I had the cancer. So ovarian cancer is very, very frightening. And yeah, I just wanted to, I don't want to alarm you, but I just want, there's a lot of women in this community. It's predominantly women. And we all should be aware of what potentially can happen in our bodies. So if in doubt, seek medical help. I think that's all I can say. I did actually put it off for a long time. So I do think about that, why did I not listen to my body? And I'm much more in tune now with what's going on. So anyway, off my high horse and back to the Pilgrim. I think I'll put a photo in here of where I was, if I've got one. I've done a lot. So it took me about 18 months to finish my first page. And then I actually managed to finish a second page. Look at it. I love it. Love, 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 love. The flamingo. I did make a little mistake, but I can't work out where it is, and I don't think you can tell, so I just went with it. Yeah. Don't know why I put it down for so long. Up here is a big rat. I'm a little bit hesitant to stitch it because I don't really like, well, I don't mind pet rats, but I don't like rats that you come across unexpectedly, vermin, I guess. Maybe when I get to stitching it, I've got a story and a picture, maybe, about rats and my sort of it is a true phobia. But I'm committed, I guess, to working across to the edge. So next page is the rat. I'm going to put this down for a little bit now though, because there's other things I want to work on, but really glad I pulled it out and I spent plenty of time working on that this month. hope I didn't go on too much about the ovarian stuff, but it's really, really important to me because I had absolutely no idea about it before I went through it. Right, next. Plague Doctor. I've had this one at work. Sorry guys. Oh my god, where is it? Yeah. Sorry. Busby Designs on Etsy. Yeah, I feel really inspired to stitch on it at the moment, watching all the media about the COVID-19 disease that's going around. My mum asked me to check in my local supermarket because her supermarket, all the shelves were clear of hand sanitizer. So people are getting really worried. I've taken this to work. I'll put a picture up of where it was. Haven't really done heaps, but I've been getting a few stitches in on my lunch break. So I'm stitching that on 28 count casual linen 1/1 using DMC. It's rhubarb and custard by Chromatic Alchemy. And I actually measured it because the stitches are tiny. It's shrunk down to somewhere between sort of 29, 30 count. So, yeah, don't know. So his hat's coming along slowly, slowly. I'll take that back to work. It just sits on my desk, and when I get time, I pop a few stitches in. Oh, I need coffee this morning. Right, next is the Modern Folk Embroidery 2020 stitch along. Here's a photo of what it will look like, and also where I was up to last time. So as a reminder, I'm stitching it on 40 count antique white Zweigart linen. Oh, crinkle, crinkle, don't you love it? On my Silks For You PR023, this bright red floss. It's amazing. So I've accepted that I'm behind, and that's okay. I'm not going to throw in the towel. I have done that before when I've gotten behind, but this is okay. I can just go along at my own pace. I've pretty much finished the January portion. Yeah, you will have seen a photo. I can't actually remember where I was last time, but I've done a little bit more, made a little bit more progress. There it is. Love it. So definitely enjoy when I want something just in one colour. Nice and simple, easy to follow the pattern. I have it on my iPad and I zoom in, and yeah, I've got it sitting on the coffee table next to my couch, just ready to pull out whenever I feel like it. It's really great to see on Instagram everyone's projects. There's so many different combinations of floss and fabric. Really, really pretty. Losing my words today. Sorry. This is my last whip that I've worked on since I last filmed. It is my Bee by Lorna Lane, charted by Gecko Rouge, 25 count Lugana, using the DMC that Gecko Rouge provides, and you can't tell, but you know, I don't have heaps of floss left. I have put in February, I've put in 6,079 stitches into my bee. I can't believe it, and I'm really starting to see the progress. I'll put a photo in of where I was. It's on the Q-snap now, so I'll just show you on the Q-snap, then I might just take it off for fun. Just gotta try and remember. So I finished a page that was kind of like here, I think. Something like that. Finished that completely. I've now come up, I think here, this way is all done. And I've started putting in quite a bit into the wing. Just trying to remember where I was. So I think what I'm trying to do is finish up. This is the top right page of the design. So I'd like to finish that. There's a little bit of blobby stuff there, plus the honeycomb, another flower, and then I'll start coming down. So that's misleading. I do have more below, but it's looking so good. I think I've got 12,000 stitches to go. I'll whip it off the Q-snap. Okay. Do with an iron when I show you this, but oh well. There we are. So yeah, since my last video, filled in heaps of the wing, and up this bit. So it's really coming together nicely. So definitely angling for a finish this year on my bee. Okay. So that was my whips. I've had 2 new starts. Firstly, on the 25th of Feb, it was my mum's birthday. I had said in my whip parade at the end of last year that I'd like to have gifted this to my mum for her birthday. Well, that didn't happen. So what I did, I actually went round and visited her the weekend before her birthday, and I took the project, or the pattern, sorry, and all my floss, and we did a conversion to make it more like personalised to her. So this is Accept Grandma's by Lindy Stitches. We've changed a lot of the colours. So firstly, they go by Nan and Pa, so we're going to make it Accept Nan and Pa's. They have a red brick house with sandstone bricks as well, like Federation style home. So I'm going to try and incorporate that. And she got right into it. She was saying, right, well, we're updating the front garden, and it's going to have a blue and purple flower theme. So everything's going to be blue and purple in the front garden. So instead of the pink flowers, they're going to be blue and purple. I won't put the little thingy on the letterbox, whatever you call that, because we don't have that in Australia. And I had changed, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I changed the text. Hang on a second. The text is going to be kind of like maroony red for the top bit and blue for the bottom bit. So this is sort of an idea of the color scheme that we're going for. So on her birthday, I put a few stitches in. I'm actually going to frog some of what I've done because I wasn't really thinking properly. I'm stitching it on the cold 432 count Lagana, cream Lagana, which is a nice pretty colour. I've done, still got a thread in there because I know I'm going to pull it out, but that's the small pitiful start that I've made. Just my brick went a bit too far across, so they've got a grey roof as well. So pretty much every single colour change. She loved going through and thinking up colours and picking out colours from my stash. She really enjoyed that. So she was happy with that, and she's excited to see it. Don't know when I'll actually get it finished, but at least I have more of a plan than I did before her birthday. And then my next new start, I started yesterday for February the 29th for the leap year, leap day, new start, whatever you want to call it. I finally started the blue flower night walked down by the blue flower, sorry, words. So I'm stitching this one on a 32 count even weave by Jay's X Stitch on Etsy. And it's in her strawberries and cream colorway. It's very pretty. And I think I mentioned last time the DMC conversion, I don't know if it's just the way the photo has been printed, but it's quite different. I mean, what color do you think her dress is? I ended up going with, I had some threadworks in my stash, so I ended up going with some threadworks, and the threadworks I picked is actually as close to the DMC conversion I think as I could go, so I was happy with that, but it's very different. It's not what you're going to expect. It's green. So I have a variegated green. So she has a green dress. I started in the middle. She has like a silver sleeve. It's really pretty. I like it. Just the colours threw me for a bit, but I'm going with it, and it's really nice. You can see her face up there on its own. I did do that 1/1 just for something different. So the rest of it's stitched 2 strands of thread over 2. You know, everyone does it on the Mirabilia, so I thought I'll give it a go. And that's a Threadworks as well. It's a slightly variegated one, so the face isn't all like one uniform colour. The chart calls for Gentle Arts Cinders for her hair, which I think is a blacky maroony colour. I don't have that. I'm not gonna go out and buy it because I do have enough in my stash. I'm gonna go through and have a look and see, because the DMC conversion was just 310 black, and I feel like I want her hair to have a bit more to it than just black, so we'll see. Really enjoyed stitching on that yesterday, and yeah, I know that I'll love this piece. Deb Wilson was going to start with me. She planned to start as well with me, but unfortunately she didn't get her pattern in time. I think she got the floss but not the pattern. But looking forward to seeing her start on that too. That's that one. So I think that's all my whips. Yeah, that's everything I've worked on since I last filmed. So I have some haul. I'm not going crazy with buying stuff this year. Something just fell on the roof. Hooray. So anyway, I'll just go into it. I'm in the Silks For You, one of their monthly clubs, the one where you get a skein from their range, a few skeins from their range each month. And this month it's greens and purples, very pretty. They always come in these pretty little organza bags. Next I got, sorry, I feel like my brain's in slow motion this morning. It's okay, we'll get there. I received my order from Colour Cascade Fabrics that I ordered in at the end of July last year. So, I was going to bring them out. Oh well. When I ordered, the reason basically for placing the order was that Nora Corbett's Miss Honeybee and the Queen Bee patterns came out. I'm not bee obsessed, but seem to be drawn to bee designs. And she was offering a discount if you bought the pattern, the embellishment pack, and some fabric. So I ordered all of that, and I got the pattern and the embellishment pack, I think probably in like maybe August or September, I can't remember, but I haven't been able to start because I've been waiting on the fabric. So that's here. I went with a 32 count Jobelin, and this will be enough to stitch both of them. And this is the Gold Digger colorway. Get rid of that. How beautiful is that? On me, that's pretty true. It's maybe a little bit more orangey. Oh, it's so hard to, maybe if I fold it. On the website and on Pattern Viewer, patternviewer.com, you can go and view some fabrics and some designs overlaid on fabrics to give you a bit of an idea of what they might look like stitched. It's really, it's an excellent resource. Oh yeah, you can sort of get a bit more of the peachiness. Really impressed with that because I wasn't sure. I actually emailed Tammy to ask for some advice on what I should go for, and this is one of her suggestions. Oh, I really like it. So Gold Digger, that one is. I think it said it was one of the best sellers on the website. But I'd never seen it before. And then, just excuse me for a second. I'm sure everything's about to drop. So, remember my time traveler, which I'm just getting out to remind you. I think if I show it up, hold it up, you're gonna see, yeah. Anyway, it's a bit see-through. Let me just, right. Okay, so it's dark, it's darker than that. So I bought the pattern maybe early last year. Yeah, early last year. And I spent a while thinking about what I wanted to do it on. And I actually decided on Sorcerer by Colour Cascades. And I went ahead and ordered that along with my Gold Digger fabric. And then, like, it has been quite a few months, seven months to get the fabric. I actually I completely forgot that I'd ordered it. And so I must have been having the same sort of thoughts because then I went and must have bought the Picture This Plus and made a start. And so when I opened the parcel the other day, I knew the Gold Digger was in there, completely forgot about the Sorcerer. But I have a piece of 32 count Belfast linen Sorcerer. It's darker than that. that better? It's hard to show, like it's more this sort of colour. Very nice, beautifully done. But now I don't need it for what I actually ordered it for, so I guess that's going in my stash for a rainy day. So that's Colour Cascades, ordered last year. Also ordered some fabric from Colour and Cotton in their Thanksgiving sale. I can't remember when Thanksgiving is. We don't celebrate it here. Was it November? Anyway, they did say like there'll be about an 8-week wait till orders are dispatched from the sale, and it was bang on 8 weeks that they sent it, and then obviously a few more weeks to get here. So I haven't actually opened it properly yet. I thought I'd do it now. I got 2 pieces of fabric. Not sure if they're going to show up true to colour. So the first one, they're both Newcastle linen, so 40 count linen. The first one is in toasted coconut. I guess that's what it looks like. It's very, I don't even know how to describe it. I can't even see it properly in this light. It's a pretty neutral anyway. Maybe if I can see a bit of the mottling. And that one has a project earmarked for it. And that is Anne Thomas by Hands Across the Sea Samplers, the one with the big pigeon in the middle. So that was bought with that in mind. And then the next one, it's another case of having something in mind, but I can't remember what it was. So also 40 count linen. This one is in Desert Taupe. It's a little bit more like mauvey, purpley. It's very pretty. Very happy with my fabric choices. Nah, light's not playing ball today. Anyway, I was very excited to see those. And they also included 4 yards of each of these. They're hand-dyed flosses. I haven't used Colour and Cotton before, the floss, so that was a nice surprise. And while I was ordering, I thought, oh, I may as well see what else they have. And I got the needle minder, which I think was in one of those boxes that they did. I'm sure I've seen people show this needle minder before. It's like a wooden one. Pumpkin. And this was probably also in a box. Some cat snips. So you can see his little tail, and they're just teeny tiny, look. Can you see that? Cute. Not entirely sure how functional they are, but whatever. We'll give it a go. I'll put them to use soon. Okay, so all of that was ordered last year. It doesn't go against my Stitch from Stash budget, which I just realised I haven't updated for the end of February. So I'm attempting a Stitch from Stash thing, project, whatever, way of thinking, way of life. Anyway, where you, so firstly look up the, if you're interested, look up the Facebook group Stitch from Stash 2017 to 2020. All the info's in there. But basically you set a monthly goal, a monthly budget, and it's just to encourage you to work on what you've got. Like clearly I've got plenty to stitch on. I don't need to be out there buying everything. So you set yourself a monthly budget and you, it doesn't prevent you from buying stuff. It just makes you more mindful of what you are buying. So any purchases come out of that budget, but also any finishes, including page finishes on full coverage pieces, add to your budget. You get credits. It's all hypothetical. It's like a game. So I was doing really, really well. And then it was my birthday and I've been eyeing this pattern off for a couple of years, I realised. Emily C finished it last year, and Sarah X Stitches on Instagram, sorry, and Flosstube, also is working on it, and hers is beautiful. I've been seeing all the updates. It's got me thinking about it again, and I decided to treat myself to a birthday present. That's how I'm justifying it anyway. My birthday was on the 12th, so I can't even, what did I stitch on? Did I do anything special for my birthday? I can't even remember. Hang on a second. Nope. I did Plague Doctor at work and Pilgrim that night. Anyway, this was my birthday special. So it's Mermaid's Folly by Courtney Collection. It's a huge pattern, but that's okay. I don't mind. I had trouble finding the pattern available to buy as an Australian. So I contacted Nicole at Journey of a Stitcher on Etsy, and she was great. She got back to me straight away and said, yeah, absolutely, I can order that. She ordered it. She just contacted me, I think during this last week, and said it was on its way. So I paid for it. And then it is actually on its way to me. So I don't have the pattern yet. I guess that'll be in my next video. But obviously the pattern went towards my Stitch from Stash. And then I was kind of, I spent a lot of time thinking about what combination of fabric and floss I wanted to do it on. So I'll pop a photo here of what it's going to look like, or what it does look like. So I don't really know the background to the piece. If anyone has any information, I'm really interested to hear about it. But I kind of think of it as folly. She's been a bit foolish. This mermaid's been a bit foolish, maybe done something a bit silly. I don't really see her swimming around as this beautiful, picturesque mermaid in, you know, crystal blue waters. She's down in the like gloomy depths of sort of swamp water is kind of how I pictured it. So after much deliberation, I actually decided to order a piece of 40 count linen I got it from 123 Stitch. It's murky, picture this plus murky. So this is my fabric and I love it. Goes well with the theme of being in the murky swamp, being naughty, doing whatever she was doing. You stitch the background, like it's kind of, what do you call it, like negatively stitched. So you stitch the background so that the like she and the dragon and the old man show up on the fabric underneath. So I haven't 100% decided on my floss. I think it needs to be something dark. I was thinking maybe like a really dark browny black or blacky green, if there is such a thing. If anyone has ideas, I'd love to hear them. I am going to Vic Stitches in May and I'm going to meet Joe and Jamie from Silks For You are going to be there. So that is an option to get a hank of their silk. I think you can also get it custom dyed if you want. Open to probably Silks for You or DMC. They're my two options. Even like a dark maroon. I don't know, still deciding. So I'd love to hear some ideas. So also went against Stitch from Stash. I'll work out my actual budget. It's going to be in the negative, I think, now. Oh well. I think that's everything. So I'm going to plan to come back again in probably 3 more weeks again. We'll see. And yeah, until then, happy stitching. See ya.